In the state of Minnesota, lawmakers are wrangling with whether or not to make huge budget cuts in education or possibly health care. There are some tough choices to be made here. Actually, the governor's proposal I'm reading calls for huge cuts in health care while actually increasing a little spending for education. Now, I honestly think that these choices are made tougher by the fact that in this, everybody is afraid to mention anything about possibly some marginal tax increases. Now, I covered this in a rant earlier this month, where it seems like with all these tough budget decisions, the one thing that never seems to want to get brought up is any form of tax increase. And I've said it before. If you want a certain quality of life, you have to be willing to pay for it. And you have people that don't want to see any kind of tax increases, but yet they seem to be willing to give up on any form of health care for anybody who is in need of help in that department. Well, let me put this to you, or let me turn this around the other way. While I obviously think health care is important, let's face it, my children are all gone out. They're no longer in school. A lot of people that are in their 40s and 50s and beyond, they don't have to worry about schools anymore. They're they're a lot more concerned, quite frankly, about the about availability and the cost of health care. And so, is it fair that my tax dollars go to funding schools in which I'm not sending my kids to, or sending kids to at all? I mean, so when we talk about tough decisions, the governor has to realize that these are tough decisions for all Minnesotans, and for that matter, all Americans. And I just think that along with responsible spending in healthcare and also in education, there needs to be talk of being able to raise a marginal amount of taxes. I mean, if the burden is spread out throughout the population, the burden can't be any more than a couple, $3-4 a month. It increases over if you average everything out. But there are some people that don't want to give up their freaking cup of latte, or don't want to give up buying all name brands when they go to the grocery store, or they don't want to give up eating. They don't want to have hamburger instead of steak one day. It's the whole thing. Everybody wants the services, but nobody wants to pay for it. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. If you want these quality services, if you want quality education, if you want quality health care, just like if you want good roads, if you want good police and fire protection, you have to be willing to pay for it. This should be a non-issue, folks. Let's get out of this Reagan-esque era of thinking that says that we shouldn't have to pay for the services that we have. Should there be some control on some wasteful spending? Yeah, there are definitely some things out there that are very wasteful in spending. But when it comes to protecting somebody's life, somebody's health, I don't think that's a waste. Nor do I think there's a waste as far as education. But it's just, we have to get our priorities straight here, folks. That's all there is to it. All I have for now. Thanks for watching. This is John Shannon, the Redneck Cabbie. Adios.